When you move there, try to embrace everything that life throws at you, except raccoons. One day after leaving...
Hi and welcome back. So right now is a lot of autumn going on, right? I think we had Halloween, the leaves are getting brown and all of that stuff. And I wanted to see what is maybe different from autumn, or I don't know, do you say, I think you say fall, right? In the US and in Europe. And that is exactly why we are going to check out today Lost in the Pond. Again, I love his videos. I was completely wrong about autumns in America. But before we do that, please make sure to hit a like and a subscribe. That would help me so much. And yeah, tell me in the comments maybe which other things we should check out in the next videos. And yeah, if you want, I have also a Patreon, link is in the description. And now let's go into the react.
Autumn is here. The humidity of summer now a distant memory, like the tribulations of my youth or fidget spinners.
Wow.
I love autumns in the Midwest. It's a time when Americans come together to enjoy pumpkins, quaff apple cider, and overdo it on the flannel shirts. But when I first moved to the United States from England, my view of Midwestern autumn was quite different. You want to know why?
Yeah.
Here's Lawrence from 2008 to tell you why.
Hi, I'm Lawrence from 2000.
He reminds me of, I don't know, of some actor, but I don't know which actor. Tell me, does you remind him, or does he remind you, that's the right way around, on somebody?
And 8, a time when I had way better eyesight. One day, my wife and I were lying on a blow-up mattress at my parents' house, plotting an unexpected move to a country called the United States. Back then, I was a wee little nipper. Some have speculated as young as 26. My worldview was so small it could
I'm still younger, so, good.
fit inside a matchbox. Not literally, that would be really weird.
Yeah.
But like I said, I was 26. I thought I knew better than the very people who had guided me through my youth. Like my mom, my dad, Mr. Miyagi. I thought that I was making the right move, that life in the good old US of A would be a doddle, a walk in the park, a breeze. In my mind, all I'd have to do was show up, flash my accent, and America would make me their monarch. When I stepped off the...
Definitely not. I think you can live very well in the US, and if you're willing to, how to say, work hard and all of that, I think you can have a very good life, probably better than, I think, in most of European countries. But I think, just getting some things easy, I think, is pretty hard in the US.
The plane, I found myself in the bountiful kingdom of Indiana. The date was November 10th, 2008.
But tell me if my experience of, if my estimation of the situation is right or wrong, or what is your opinion about that?
Of autumn, except something wasn't right.
And I'm not talking about the usual reasons that people feel that way when visiting Indiana. I'm talking about the weather. It was absolutely freezing. And I know what you're thinking. Ooh, Lawrence, why do the British always exaggerate the weather? But here's the thing, I wasn't. Historical weather records for Indianapolis confirm that my 11 p.m. arrival time coincided with temperatures of 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Quite literally
That's 0, right?
the freezing point of water
Yeah.
and nose hair.
Already alarm bells were going off, which is a particular problem when you're leaving an airport. This didn't feel like the autumn.
Yeah, that's true.
As I'd always known. In fact, my initial belief was that things were completely and utterly a little bit not good.
By the way, tell me in the comments, would you like to have a video about how the US election quite heavily had an influence already right now on Germany, because, we literally have no government anymore. Tell me that. Maybe I find time next week. I hope I will, if you would like to see that.
Not 9 hours earlier, I'd been in London, where average November temperatures are typically 17 degrees warmer than those of my current predicament. It's often said that...
Which degrees now? Probably Fahrenheit, right? Because 20 degrees in autumn is crazy.
Impressions are everything. For a couple of years afterwards, I clung to the false notion that the Midwest didn't even have an autumn, that it cruelly transitioned from summer to winter, bringing November temperatures that aren't entirely fit for humans. But it turns out there were two glaring problems with this assessment. Firstly, the date of my arrival had simply seen an anomaly, with average November temperatures relatively on par with my hometown of Grimsby. Secondly, Indiana's actual winters make 32 degrees seem like a fortnight in Cancun, but that's another story. And so a few years later, I woke up one morning and went a bit heavy on the exposition. Right, so given that the Midwest doesn't not have autumns, I suppose that I, the chief protagonist of this story, have just realised that the Midwest does in fact have autumns. What are you looking at?
Fine, but as the years rolled on, like this toilet paper falling down steps for some reason, I noticed something. Americans didn't just experience autumn, some made it their entire personality.
Really?
They willingly consumed something by the name of pumpkin-laced souffle.
Pumpkin spice latte?
Same
I have,
thing.
I hear it always, and I hear it always like, oh my god, give me a pumpkin spice latte, like it's something in the trend or something. I don't even know. I mean, I know what a pumpkin is, I know what spice is, and I know what, I think latte is probably latte macchiato, right? But I don't get the combination. I've never experienced something like that. I don't know. I mean, we have Starbucks here, probably it's a Starbucks thing, but I have never bought something in my life in a Starbucks, so I don't know. If you like this video, please hit a like, and if you want to see more of me, I would love if you subscribe. Thank you so much for that. I never get this whole thing. Is this not so crazy that you need it? And why does pumpkin and coffee match? I don't know. Probably I'm just super ignorant. I don't know.
Their homes became temporary showcases for the colour orange, largely so that their Instagram feeds could do the same.
And real champions of autumn all had one thing in common. They all had doormats bearing the words "Happy Fall, y'all." As an English person, the sight of Americans worshipping at the altar of autumn was jarring at first. For me, the season had always been about moaning about damp leaves or burning effigies down at the beach, or sometimes both at the same time.
But then I remembered something, a challenge I'd laid down to myself while I myself laid down on that mattress. When you move there, try to embrace everything that life throws at you, except raccoons. One day after leaving...
Oh, it's always so, it's so nice. It's so, and then this joke comes in and you're just like, whew.
work, I decided to walk home via Lincoln Park rather than catching the L.
I wanted to be by myself and shut out the world for a bit, so I put on my headphones and listened to something relaxing, like BBC Sounds number 24, for example.
As the crisp autumn air filled my lungs, I became entranced by the sight of a single leaf slowly falling to the ground.
As it reached its destination, I realised it was one of thousands. The colour palette leaned heavily into green and orange, like the Irish flag or the head of an Oompa Loompa.
Absent the English drizzle, there was something elevated, perhaps even magical, about this American scene.
Oh,
In
that
Indiana,
looks
where the
good.
leaves of Brown County are admittedly among the best in the Midwest, I didn't get out as much as I do in Chicago, at least not on foot.
In Lincoln Park, those same feet moved through the leaves like wind from a panther's arse.
Except the general aroma was pleasant, similar in nature to the autumns of my youth. Back home, there was always something particularly spellbinding about this time of year. It probably helped that Halloween, Guy Fawkes, and my birthday all fell within days of each other. And while Americans aren't known for letting off fireworks on November 5th, the country is no stranger to autumn festivities in autumn.
What is on November 5th? I mean, July the 4th? What is November 5th? I mean, this year was the election on November 5th, wasn't it? Or was it November 6th? I don't know.
That last word was redundant. Between October 31st and December 31st, America turns into one giant party. You've got
That's
Halloween,
great.
Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas Day.
I have to learn more about your Thanksgiving. Because, I don't know, I have the feeling I know nothing about it and that you eat turkey. So I have to learn more about that. And I think it's tomorrow, right?
Kwanzaa, New Year's Eve, and the birthday of the greatest president of all time, Bill Pullman. With such an array of festivities, it's little wonder that my own birthday often gets forgotten. In fact, in 2020, I even missed it myself. Mind you, of course, that was the year that a certain something spread around the world. Yep, monoliths.
Well, they spread. Actually, my birthday is also in this time period of 31st of October till 31st of December. So yeah, mine always gets also forgotten in front of Christmas.
Do you not remember? Strange monoliths started showing up around the globe. Actually, come to think of it, since the first one was spotted in Utah, I haven't been the same. It's like I've become this entirely different person, right? Always asking myself, am I really here? Do I actually exist? What exactly are hands?
This video is so different than his other videos. It's somehow a little bit trippy. I don't know. This lighting is totally weird. You know, here we have this strong white light and then there a green light. This one is different.
No, my dear Lawrence, it wasn't the monoliths that did that. That was just some art students mucking about. The spell was cast on you by somebody else entirely.
I mean, what is that? That is so trippy.
Been doing a lot of thinking recently, and I don't think that I can put this off any longer. I've decided that I'm going to change my name.
To what?
To Paul Pumpkin Cheeks. Now, I do realise that this might come as a shock to my audience, who will nonetheless appreciate the improvements to my face. But please reserve your judgment until the end, by which time I'll be gone and Lawrence will return. For now, I'm the embodiment, if you will, of autumn, at least in the eyes of this daft pillock. Basically, the backstory here is that Lawrence accidentally took a sip of pumpkin fried souffle.
Pumpkin spice latte?
And he instantly turned into Paul Pumpkin Cheeks. Now, while this might sound like his accent's changing, his accent's changed, what do I do? Now, while this might sound like it were premeditated by somebody close to Lawrence, it did give the YouTube sensation the final jolt that he needed to finally embrace autumns in the Midwest. What I'm saying is it was premeditated by his wife.
The face comes and goes, almost literally at the minute. My journey from autumn denier to literal fall guy has been long, arduous, and fraught with cinnamon. But on reflection, when you take into account the oppressive humidity of the Midwestern summer, not to mention the cruel freeze of its wintry sister, fall represents something of a middle child, which is probably why I neglected it for so long. And just like the monoliths of 2020, the season completely disappears before you can say, open the pod bay door.
This video was something else. I don't know how much I actually learned about autumns in the US. Just that they are there and not there, and that people like pumpkin spice latte at the same time. I don't know, this was a really weird video. Or am I just a weird one here? I don't know. I mean, it was entertaining, that is very well. But I don't know, I didn't found the... Is there something? No, there's nothing. I didn't find the answers that I wanted to find. Yeah, that was quite trippy. Anyways, I hope you will have tomorrow, I hope it's tomorrow and not today, a very, very nice Thanksgiving. I need to check out what exactly you are celebrating there. Because, you know, we have also something like Erntedank, which means like Harvest Thank Festival in Germany, but that is like 1.5 months earlier, like in the beginning or middle of October. So I don't know, why should it be like, is it the same? Why should it be like different? And also it's not at all celebrated, except maybe from kindergartens, you know, because then they can make like, oh, very nice, you know, leaves with their hands maybe or something like that. But you know, nobody else knows, oh, we have now Harvest Thank Fest or something like that. So I'm thinking all the time, what is this Thanksgiving exactly about? Yeah, and I hope you have a great day and we see each other in the next video. Bye!